Hello and welcome to News Tonight, your daily roundup of the day's big stories from across India and the world. I'm Tina Jha. Let's begin with the headlines. 27 children among 30 people killed as school bus falls into a deep ravine in Himachal Pradesh. Death toll expected to rise. All the dead students were below the age of 10 years. Politics heats up over the Dalit issue. Congress accuses BJP of suppressing the voice of Dalits. BJP calls party's nationwide protest hunger strike a farce. Releases pictures of Congress leaders eating in a restaurant before the fast. Supreme Court refuses to grant centre its requested 3 months to frame its Kaveri water sharing scheme. Asks government to file a draft of its plan by the 3rd of May. Prime Minister tells public sector units to give preference to micro, small and medium enterprises in procurements, asks them for a new mantra to realize the vision of a new India. And 3 more gold medals for India at the Commonwealth Games. Top honours for Jeetu Rai in the 10 metres air pistol event, men's table tennis and mixed badminton teams. With 10 gold medals, India now take the 3rd spot in the medals table. Beginning with a big political story of the day, Congress President Rahul Gandhi led a nationwide day-long fast to protest against the centre on atrocities against Dalits and also the stalemate in Parliament. Sitting on a fast at Mahatma Gandhi's memorial Rajghat, Rahul Gandhi accused the Modi government of being anti-Dalit. The BJP hit back, calling the fast a farce.
Congress President Rahul Gandhi led a nationwide day-long fast of his party to protest against alleged atrocities against Dalits. He was joined in the fast at Rajghat by senior party leaders including Kamal Nath, Mallikarjun Kharge, Sheila Dikshit, Ashok Gehlot, Ajay Makhan and party's communications in charge Randeep Surjewala.
आदिवासियों के खिलाफ, माइनॉरिटीज के खिलाफ, किसानों के खिलाफ इस सरकार की अप्रोच है, उसके खिलाफ हम खड़े हैं और देश इस बात को एक्सेप्ट नहीं करेगा कि नरेंद्र मोदी जी की सरकार इस देश में हिंसा फैलाने का काम, घृणा फैलाने का काम करे.
The Congress protest was, however, overshadowed by allegations of feasting before the fast. Pictures of Congress leaders enjoying a good meal at a restaurant before the protest went viral on social media sites. They included Delhi Congress leaders, including Ajay Makhan, Haroon Yusuf and Arvinder Singh Lovely. While the Congress leaders claimed the picture was taken before the fast began, the BJP stuck to its claim that the so-called Congress fast was a sham. The BJP said the farcical protest at Rajghat was an insult to the satyagrah of Mahatma Gandhi.
जहां तक कांग्रेस पार्टी का सवाल है, उपवास के नाम पे किस प्रकार का उपहास वो कर रहे हैं, ये हम देख रहे हैं. उपहास इसलिए 3000 सिखों के मौत के लिए जो लोग जिम्मेदार हैं. भारतवर्ष में अगर दंगा मास्टर किसी को कहा जाए तो जब से भारतवर्ष आजाद हुआ है, दंगा मास्टर कांग्रेस पार्टी ही है.
BJP leaders and party workers will now observe a fast on April 12th to protest against the disruptions in Parliament. The protest was announced at the BJP parliamentary meet on Friday. Mohammad Fateh Tipu's report for Rajya Sabha TV.
The Supreme Court asked the centre to submit a draft scheme for the sharing of Kaveri water by the 3rd of May. The court refused to grant it the 3 months that it had sought, citing the Karnataka elections to come up with a plan. The court also directed authorities to maintain peace in the region. The top court's directive came while hearing the centre's petition, seeking clarification of its order that was passed on the 16th of February.
The Supreme Court on Monday asked the centre to file a draft of its Kaveri management scheme by 3rd of May. It also directed authorities of Tamil Nadu, Karnataka and other stakeholders to take steps to ensure peace on the issue. The bench, headed by Chief Justice Deepak Mishra, said it had considered the award of Kaveri Water Disputes Tribunal while deciding the water share of Tamil Nadu, Karnataka, Kerala and Puducherry in its judgment. The Supreme Court was hearing the centre's petition seeking clarification on the February 16th verdict regarding setting up a Kaveri management scheme to settle the decades-old river water sharing dispute.
Justice made it clear the judgment rendered by this Honorable Supreme Court in the Kaveri issue must be implemented by the central government by framing the scheme to implement the terms and conditions mentioned in the tribunal award subject to the modifications made by the Honorable Supreme Court.
Meanwhile, the DMK continued its Kaveri retrieval walk in Thanjavur, demanding the immediate constitution of the Kaveri Management Board.
फाइनलाइज करने के बाद सारे स्टेट्स को, स्टेट ऑफ तमिलनाडु और कर्नाटका स्टेट और पांडिचेरी और केरला, इन चारों स्टेट इस स्कीम फाइनलाइज करने के बाद उसे मानना ही पड़ेगा.
The Kaveri issue spelled trouble for IPL matches as well. Several state parties, including Tamil film star turned politician Rajnikant, said holding a gala event like IPL would be embarrassing when the entire state was protesting for a cause. AMMK leader TTV Dinakaran appealed to cricket fans to shun the matches. DMK working president Stalin said organizers of IPL matches should realize the issue faced by the people.
IPL is one thing which I would request everyone that it should not unnecessarily be dragged into political controversies. It's a cricket, pure cricket, so let it happen like that. There are a lot many other cricket tournaments and sports events happen. Then there is no objection. So why to object on IPL?
The Supreme Court had increased the share of Kaveri water for Karnataka and reduced Tamil Nadu's share while compensating the state by allowing it to extract groundwater from the river basin. It also asked the centre to frame a scheme in 6 weeks to ensure compliance. After completion of the deadline on March 31st, centre filed a petition seeking clarification on the order. With Vipin Chauhan, Bureau Report, Rajya Sabha TV.
YSR Congress leaders continued their indefinite fast in New Delhi for special status for Andhra Pradesh. 3 of the party's protesting MPs, YB Suva Reddy, M. Rajamohan Reddy and Vera Prasad Rao, have been taken to the hospital. The YSR Congress MPs have been sitting on fast since Friday after they resigned from the Lok Sabha over their demand. Meanwhile, protesting TDP MPs have decided to return to Andhra Pradesh to create awareness among the people in the state over their demand of special status being given to Andhra Pradesh. Earlier in the day, TDP MPs paid tributes to Mahatma Gandhi at Rajghat and took an oath in front of his statue, vowing to keep the agitation peaceful. Prime Minister Narendra Modi on Monday addressed the Central Public Sector Enterprises Conclave in New Delhi. Describing the conclave as a new beginning in the public sector sphere, he gave a new formula to create a new India. The conclave that features presentations on best practices in CPSCs was attended by senior officers of CPSC as well as top ministry officials.
Prime Minister Narendra Modi on Monday said the central public sector enterprises can play a vital role in developing New India. Modi also gave what he called the 5P formula to create a new India that focuses on performance, process, persona, procurement and preparation. Modi was addressing senior officers of public sector enterprises and top ministry officials at the CPSC conclave in New Delhi.
आज तक हम PSCs को नवरत्न के रूप में क्लासिफाई करते रहे, लेकिन अब वक्त आ गया है जब हम इससे भी आगे की सोचें। क्या हम न्यू इंडिया रत्न बनाने के बारे में नहीं सोच सकते, जो न्यू इंडिया बनाने में मदद कर सके? क्या आप तकनीक और प्रक्रियाओं में बदलाव के लिए जरिए न्यू इंडिया रत्न बनने और बनाने के लिए तैयार हैं? मैं समझता हूं कि न्यू इंडिया के निर्माण में आपकी सहभागिता 5P फॉर्मूले पर चलते हुए और ज्यादा हो सकती है.
Addressing the gathering, he described this conclave as a new beginning in the public sector sphere. Expressing concern over inadequate procurement by CPSCs from micro, small and medium enterprises, Modi prodded them to buy more from the small units and ensure timely payments. In 2016, procurement by CPSCs was only 25,000 crore rupees from MSMEs out of the total 1.30 lakh crore rupees.
क्या आप सभी मिलकर कोई ऐसा मैकेनिज्म नहीं बना सकते, ऐसा कोई फ्रेमवर्क नहीं बना सकते जिससे देश के लघु और छोटे उद्योगों से ज्यादा सामान खरीदा जाए, विशेषकर देश के पिछड़े इलाकों में जो उद्योग हैं उनकी हैंड होल्डिंग आपके द्वारा की जा सकती है.
The Prime Minister further said it is not enough to rest on past laurels, but also important to adapt to emerging challenges. Thematic presentations were made on the occasion on subjects like corporate governance, human resource management, financial re-engineering and innovation. Bureau Report, Rajya Sabha Television.
Jammu and Kashmir Chief Minister Mehbooba Mufti called on Prime Minister Narendra Modi on Monday and apprised him of the overall situation in the state. She has stressed the need to end the cycle of violence by addressing the issue of alienation among the youth. Her meeting with the Prime Minister comes 3 days after she appealed to the country's leadership to listen to the voices of pain from the state. The Chief Minister said that people of the state wanted the centre to support them in getting out of the cycle of uncertainty and deaths. Reiterating her demand for peaceful engagement with all stakeholders in this regard, Mehbooba sought more frequent meetings at the highest levels between India and Pakistan. The BJP has released its list of 72 candidates for the forthcoming Karnataka elections. The party's CM candidate for the state, B.S. Yediyurappa, will contest from Shikaripura. The decision on the list was taken at the party's Central Election Committee meeting held in New Delhi on Sunday. Jagdish Shettar will contest from Hubli Dharwad Central and K.S. Ishwarappa will fight from Shimoga. The party has also fielded its Lok Sabha MP B. Sriramulu in the polls. Elections to the 224-member assembly will take place on the 12th of May.
The Bharatiya Janata Party is today releasing 72 seats for the ensuing Vidhan Sabha elections. In this, the prominent who have been cleared today is Mr. B.S. Yediyurappa, the Member Parliament at present and also the ex-Chief Minister of Karnataka. Shri Jagdish Shettar, he happens to be the ex-Chief Minister of Karnataka. I'll get back. And Shri Ramulu, the Member Parliament, he's also contesting. And Shri K.S. Ishwarappa, who is an MLC, he's also contesting and he's the ex-Deputy Chief Minister. The same way, Mr. R. Ashok, who is the ex-Deputy Chief Minister, is also fighting. Our very senior OBC leader, Malkaya Gutidhar, he is also contesting the elections.
The Ministry of Home Affairs has issued an advisory to the states to take all precautionary measures in view of calls for Bharat Bandh on Tuesday by some groups on the social media. Various anti-reservation groups have called the Bandh to protest against the clashes during the SC/ST Bharat Bandh on the 2nd of April. The Ministry of Home Affairs has advised the states to step up security and make appropriate arrangements to prevent any untoward incident, including issue of prohibitory orders if necessary. The advisory has also asked for intensification of patrolling in all sensitive locations so as to prevent any loss of life or damage to property. The advisory stressed that district magistrates and superintendents of police be made personally responsible for ensuring that law and order situation remains firmly under control in the areas of their jurisdiction. Addressing the CII annual conference, Defence Minister Nirmala Sitharaman said many countries are interested in Indian missiles and the government is considering selling them to friendly countries. Many union ministers and people associated with the industry participated in the two-day annual event.
Defence Minister Nirmala Sitharaman on Monday participated in the annual summit of Confederation of Indian Industries. Underlining the importance of indigenous manufacturing, she said that defence production policy will be finalized soon.
Missile interests on Indian missile is definitely growing, and we are addressing it. We want to be able to export to friendly nations.
The Defence Minister also said that the government is considering selling missiles to the allied countries.
We are glad to say the consultations have yielded a lot more inputs which have been factored in, and soon I think we'll be able to present a finalized defence production policy.
Addressing the summit, Commerce and Industry Minister Suresh Prabhu said that India can take advantage of the current challenges facing the global markets.
In Europe, US particularly, there are so many think tanks thinking about so many critical issues outside the government, and that is what makes policy making a much better option. So I think at a time when such challenges are there, you must genuinely think about how do you make this real think tank a reality.
Union Minister Hardeep Puri and Niti Aayog Chairman Amitabh Kant were also present on the second and the last day of the CII's annual session 2018. The challenges faced by the industry sector and its solutions were also discussed at the program. Now Vikram Singh's report for Rajya Sabha TV.
We'll take a short break here. News and updates will continue on the other side. Do stay with us. Welcome back. You're watching News Tonight. At least 2 Jawans were killed and 5 injured as Maoists targeted a bus ferrying nearly 30 Jawans with an improvised explosive device in Chhattisgarh's Bijapur district. This was the second attack on Monday ahead of Prime Minister Narendra Modi's visit to the district on Saturday. The explosion occurred near Godma village when the Jawans were out on an anti-Maoist operation. The IED blast damaged the front portion of the bus that was carrying at least 30 Jawans. Security forces intensified search operations in the forest in view of the Prime Minister's visit to Bijapur. Early in the morning, Maoists triggered twin IED blasts and opened fire on CRPF petrol party on the Bijapur-Bhopalpatnam road that led to a gun battle. No casualty was reported on either side. And at least 30 people, including 27 students, were killed when a school bus owned by a private school fell into a deep gorge near Malkwal area of Nurpur constituency in Himachal Pradesh on Monday. The 42-seater bus, which was on its way to drop students home, was not visible from the road. The number of students in the bus has not been confirmed as rescue operations are still underway. The Himachal Pradesh government has ordered a team of doctors to remain on standby. President Ramnath Kovind expressed grief and sent out his thoughts and prayers with the bereaved families of the deceased. Himachal Chief Minister Jairam Thakur has announced an ex gratia of 5 lakh rupees each for the family of the people killed in the accident. Moving on, the Calcutta High Court on Monday allowed 3 candidates to file nomination for Panchayat elections directly before the State Election Commission. The unprecedented order came after the candidates alleged that they were prevented from filing their papers by political opponents. Monday was the last day of filing of nominations for the Panchayat polls in West Bengal that are scheduled to be held in 3 phases in the first week of May. Earlier in the day, the Supreme Court refused to admit a plea seeking extension of the last date for filing of nominations for Panchayat polls. The court said it could not interfere with the election process. However, it did grant liberty to the aggrieved candidates to approach the State Election Commission to seek relief. China on Monday said that Hong Kong can take its own decisions to India's request to arrest fugitive Indian diamond merchant Nirav Modi based on local laws and mutual judicial assistance agreements. India had last week sought the provisional arrest of Nirav Modi by the government of the Hong Kong Special Administrative Region. Asked about India's request, Chinese Foreign Ministry said that according to one country, 2 systems and basic law, Hong Kong can make proper arrangement on judicial mutual assistance with other countries. Nirav Modi, who is wanted in connection with the 12,700 crore scam at the Punjab National Bank, is reportedly in Hong Kong, which is a special administrative region of China. Earlier today, the Supreme Court said it will decide whether the PIL seeking a court-monitored probe into the case is maintainable or not, since the agencies like the CBI, ED and the IT department are the income and independently probing the PNB scam. Vice President M. Venkaiah Naidu has said that CRPF is truly the strongest pillar of the country's internal security apparatus. The Vice President awarded gallantry medals to the 50 brave CRPF officers and soldiers on CRPF's Valor Day. The Vice President lauded the immense contribution made by CRPF in upholding the unity and integrity of the country and the role it plays in cementing the internal security framework of the country. The Vice President said the CRPF played a commendable role in Jammu and Kashmir. He said it was due to the efforts of the CRPF that there is a significant decrease in terrorist activities in the valley.
Equally commendable has been our operations in Jammu and Kashmir, where the force has launched many operations during the last 1 year. Controlling terrorism effectively, you have put in place community action programs that enhance our credibility and acceptability. It's a matter of great relief that due to these continuous operations, there is a significant decrease in terrorist activities.
And in the course of his visit to 3 African countries, President Ramnath Kovind is in Swaziland today. This is part of India's outreach to Africa at a time when India is seeking reform in UNSC and other world bodies. The Swaziland king himself came to the airport to receive President Kovind. Swaziland is a mineral-rich country in Africa with abundance of asbestos, coal, clay, gold and diamond, to name a few. There will be delegation-level talks between the 2 countries in Swaziland capital, and some important agreements will also be signed. This is the first ever visit of Indian President to Swaziland. Before reaching the country, President Kovind was in energy-rich Equatorial Guinea, where agreements were signed in fields related to IT, mining, Ayush, among others. India and Guinea also decided to work jointly against terrorism and also addressed its parliament. After Swaziland, President Kovind will leave for Zambia. And India has assured Bangladesh to expedite Teesta water sharing agreement soon. Foreign Secretary Vijay Gokhale told this to his counterpart Mohammad Shahidul Haq in Dhaka on Monday. Foreign Secretary Vijay Gokhale is on a 3-day visit to Dhaka since Sunday. Both foreign secretaries reviewed the overall gamut of relationship between both countries, including developmental projects and issues related to SAARC and terrorism. During the meeting, 6 MOUs were signed between both countries. Prominent among those is about implementation of an oil pipeline from Namligarh in Assam to Pawatipur in Bangladesh. The MOUs also included grant of assistance to 500 schools of Bangladesh and renovation of roads in Rangpur city. Vijay Gokhale's visit to Dhaka is part of his visit to neighbouring countries after he took charge as Foreign Secretary in January this year. He had earlier visited Bhutan and China recently. With 19 medals so far that include 10 golds, 4 silvers and 5 bronze, India is on the road to a good showing at the Commonwealth Games. India's best performance was, of course, back in 2010 Delhi Games, when it won no less than 101 medals and finished second in the medals tally. At the previous edition in Glasgow in 2014, India's medal tally stood at 64. That included 15 golds, 30 silver and 19 bronze. This time, medal prospects who include PV Sindhu, Saina Nehwal, MC Mericom, Sushil Kumar and Vinesh Fogart are yet to play their matches. India is expected to considerably add to its medal tally. And earlier in the day, in the table tennis men's team event, India defeated Nigeria to win a gold medal in the ongoing Commonwealth Games in Australia's Gold Coast. India's table tennis men's team beat Nigeria 3-0 in the finals. In the first match, Sharat Kamal defeated Bode Abiodun of Nigeria 4-11, 11-5, 11-4, 11-9. In the second game, G. Satyan beat Segun Toriola 10-12, 11-3, 11-3, 11-4. While in the third match, Satyan teamed up with Harmeet Desai and beat Nigerian duo of Abidon and Omar Tayo 11-8, 11-5, 11-3. Jeetu Rai won the gold in the men's 10-meter air pistol event, while O. Mitharwal bagged the bronze. In weightlifting event, India's Pradeep Singh bagged the silver medal in men's 105 kg category.
And this is how they earned them, with Jeetu Rai getting the gold, Kerry Bell of Australia the silver, and Om Mitharwal of India getting the bronze.
And a charged-up Indian mixed badminton team claimed its first ever Commonwealth Games gold medal in great style. In the final match in Gold Coast, they thrashed 3-time defending champions Malaysia. It started with Satvik Rankireddy and Ashwini Ponnappa claiming the mixed doubles match against Peng Sun Chan and Liu Yong-go 21-14, 15-21, 21-15. K. Srikanth then stunned three-time Olympic silver medalist Lee Chong-wai 21-17, 21-14 in straight games. The men's doubles pair of Rankireddy and Chirag Shetty lost to Go and Wee Kyong Tan 15-21, 20-22 to keep Malaysia afloat. But the informed Saina Nehwal made short work of Sonia Chia. Down 7-11, Saina took 14 points in a row to win the first game against her Malaysian opponent. She eventually won 21-11, 19-21, 21-9. Saina has been ensured that the women's doubles pair of N. Reddy and Ashwini did not have to go through their clash against Vivian Hu and Mei Kwan Chow.
Not with 1 point, it's got to be a 2-point game here. More points there.
And that's it from us in this edition of News Tonight. Thanks for watching. Good night.